We're going to go ahead and push play on that, and the mayor should be here momentarily. It's about a 4.5-minute video. You can go on your phone and you can watch it on Facebook Live. Go to Memphis HCD page. You can also go to Memphis HCD YouTube page and watch the video.
I'm from Memphis, lived in Raleigh since I was 8 years old. Raleigh Forest Apartments, went to Egypt Elementary, so Raleigh was everything. The thing you remember about the Raleigh Springs Mall when I was younger was you kind of had the trifecta. There was a movie theater. Next to the movie theater was the pet store, and across from both of those was the arcade, which is where every kid went and spent the entire Saturday.
The mall was such a vibrant hub in this city, not just in this area, but in the city. Everyone remembers the mall, has memories of the mall.
I'm Tom Marshall. I'm an architect that is actually born and raised out here in the heart of Raleigh. The mall really served as the icon of the community. It was a place we all went, and my mom or dad would drop me off here when I was young, and I had as much fun as a kid could have on $4 or $5. We saw our friends and we got together. It was our social hub, you might say.
Raleigh Springs Mall and
I moved to Memphis. I was 11 years old in 1977. We lived out in Raleigh. And the Raleigh Mall was our mall. And I remember how vibrant the intersection of Yale and Austin Peay Highway was.
Raleigh Springs Mall features Ashley's for an emporium of exciting holiday fashions for juniors and misses. Raleigh Springs, the most beautiful shopping mall of all.
Raleigh used to be the county seat for Shelby, and people would come here because of the Raleigh Springs that were, supposedly the fountain of youth. But the Raleigh Springs Mall was the center of this community for miles around.
In the late 2000s, you started to see the signs of decay. Businesses started leaving the mall.
Wolf Chase got built. As Wolf Chase grew, this mall shrunk.
And it's not unlike malls across this country, suburban shopping malls that were built in the
50s, 60s, and 70s. And communities across the country are trying to figure out how do you either repurpose the mall itself or repurpose the space.
Well, we've got parts of the police in the budget, parts of the library in the budget. Let's put those on this site, but then let's add all the amenities. And then ultimately the idea was, let's make this the center of Raleigh again.
We had designed, of course, this to be a complex, and it's far beyond just a library, a police precinct, traffic precinct, and championship level skate park. We've also included a 7-acre lake that works as a retainage basin that keeps about 600 houses in the dry during a 100-year flood event.
A walking trail, which people began using even before the facility was open, which just shows how much excitement there was in this community to have a central space where everybody can gather. And we also have an additional 20 acres that are available for private development on the site as well.
Raleigh Civic Center represents renewal in every sense of the word. It's almost like that giddy feeling again I used to have as a young girl going into the mall. When I walked in today and I just saw how beautiful the place is and how functional it is and how it has so much potential for our community.
Memphis 3.0 is a comprehensive plan that the city developed to really define how we're going to make investments in our community. And the 3.0 plan is really based on the premise of investing in anchors in our community. The place that we're standing in right now is an anchor. And so the investments that we've made here are intended to spur investment around it.
Nobody knows their neighborhood like the people who live there. And I really do believe that with the neighbor support, we're going to see more private dollars going into that area.
I hope our youth, they'll get that sense of history and pride in the community, but also with what we have here, it'll help them see that there is a wonderful future ahead of them. In spite of the dilapidation that was here, this building came from that, and I want that reflected in their lives as well.
I live literally 6 minutes from here. So every day going to work, every day coming home from work, I pass this site. So I've literally seen it come from the holes that were dirt and everything we were digging out to what it is now. From a personal perspective, this is everyone's dream. You want to make an impact and show work and show something that you've done. I can walk by here and tell anyone I know the role I played in it.
We're going to invest in this anchor and allow that to be the light that shines for the Raleigh community. And allow that to be the light that shines for the Raleigh community.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. This is an exciting day in Raleigh. We are super excited about being able to cut the ribbon today on this Raleigh Springs Civic Center. It's been a labor of love for many, and we are really excited to have this opportunity today to present this space to the public. We're going to start off with some remarks from our illustrious mayor, Mayor Jim Strickland.
Thank you, Paul. I do want to recognize a few people that this is a team effort, and I want to recognize Secretary of State Trey Hargett. I think he's joining us virtually. I want to recognize the council, because without the council, none of this is possible. Current council members, Rhonda Logan, Ford Canale, yes. Ford Canale, Chase Carlisle, and Jeff Warren, whose birthday is today, by the way, Jeff Warren, and our former council members, Bill Morrison, Reed Hedgepeth, Kim Conrad, and Shay Flynn. I don't know if any of them were able to make it. And I know other people will be recognized in a little bit, but I just want to note, and I may have said it in the video, but in August of 1977, when I was 12 years old, we moved to Memphis, and we moved to this area. So this was our mall. Raleigh, the Raleigh Mall was where Raleigh Springs Mall was where we bought our clothes, where we went to the movies. We spent a lot of time there. And I know that Raleigh was a strong commercial and residential community. Now, currently, we have great neighbors in Raleigh, strong neighborhood associations. We have strong neighborhoods, but the commercial aspects have suffered. So it's great to be here this afternoon for what I think is going to be a significant milestone for the Raleigh community. From tired, old, empty buildings to a new library, a new police station, and as you can see, an already busy skate park. This investment is already paying dividends. As many of you know, after 2 years, nearly 200 public meetings and events, and the engagement of over 15,000 residents, the Memphis 3.0 comprehensive plan is now being implemented in everything we do. It's the city's first comprehensive plan for land use and growth in nearly 40 years. Because of this significant investment that we're seeing right now, the project is already helping to spur other development in the area, including Patriot Bank, a new Starbucks, and we expect even more to come in the future, with an opportunity to develop another 20 acres of land and actively participate in the activation of the recently approved TIF in this area. All I can say is the future of Raleigh is bright. Now I'm honored to introduce our next speaker. We have to give credit to a former council member for which the street has been named, Councilman and now probate court clerk, Bill Morrison. Bill, your hard work and dedication has been instrumental in making this project happen. Bill, welcome here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is a quite humbling honor for the street to be named after me, but clearly I did not do this alone. I know that State Representative Parkinson is here, Commissioner Brooks is here. Without their help, their tutelage, and us standing together, this wouldn't have happened. Years ago, when we broke ground, I referred to us as the Raleigh tripod. We still are. 10 years ago this month, the Memphis Flyer had a cover story. And the question on the front of the cover story was, will Raleigh spring back? You don't have to look any further than right here. I want to thank HCD for their hard work, Mary Claire, Paul, for everything they've done. Everyone, from the lawn maintenance to everything, the excellence that was put into this project from Tom Marshall, Zellner, and their commitment to the excellence in the plan we had. It is truly, truly an example of what we do when a city and a community come together with one goal, which is to make the community better for everyone. And I also want to take just a moment to thank who I passed the baton to, Councilwoman Logan, who this falls on. And I know for a fact she will stand with Raleigh to ensure this continues to grow with her guidance. Look forward to doing anything I can for her during her first term. Look forward to doing anything I can when her second term begins. So please, Council Logan, thank you so much. With that, I give it back to Mr. Young. And
Yes.
again, thank you all for being here. And I really, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for the street. I did really good, and I didn't cry because I've cried for 2 days knowing about it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your contributions. We greatly appreciate you really fighting for this project. This means so much to this community. I want to turn it over to someone that you referenced, someone who is representing the Raleigh district and does so very capably. I want to turn it over to Councilwoman Rhonda Logan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
I'd like to first thank Mayor Strickland and the administration, particularly HCD. Thanks so much to Paul and Mary Claire for your hard work, the former and current council members, as well as all of the elected officials in this area, and all who had a hand in bringing this project to fruition. This is such a momentous occasion in the Raleigh community, the resurgence of what was the iconic Raleigh Springs Mall property. We all share memories of the mall. It is forever woven into the fabric of our city as one of the first 2 shopping malls in the city. It was the hub for commerce and for gathering and for rites of passage, which was being dropped off at the mall for the first time. Standing here today, I feel such a sense of community pride. For years ago as a teen, I walked these grounds in the Raleigh Mall, making memories, and little did I know that today, years later, I'd walk the same grounds of the new Raleigh Civic Center as your city council representative, creating new memories for myself and for others. I'm humbled and grateful to God for the opportunity that this development represents. For me, the Raleigh Civic Center is a wellspring of renewal. It reflects the resilience and the heart of a vibrant and diverse community. This property restores hope in the future of a flourishing community while paying homage to this location. It points to the future growth as well as our deep roots. This development affords new generations the privilege of making memories, new memories, and friendships. Its amenities will attract families, singles, seniors, and youth alike. Everyone has a place here, and this is only the beginning. As we continue to reimagine Raleigh, we will continue to evolve as a community. Let us do so in the spirit of unity and love for 38128. Let's allow this Raleigh Civic Center and all that it represents to be the catalyst for a new Raleigh, one that is an example in the city of neighbors hand in hand together, building what they have imagined, reimagining Raleigh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Those remarks they resonate very, very much to me. I really appreciate what's happening on this site. This is an amazing community effort, and it couldn't be done without the help of persons like yourselves and 2 individuals that are next to you right now. We have Representative Antonio Parkinson, as well as Commissioner Willie Brooks. So Mayor Strickland mentioned that Memphis 3.0 is the plan that we are using. And with Memphis 3.0, we're investing in anchors in our community throughout this city. This is an anchor for the Raleigh community. And the way we continue to make those investments is we use tools like tax increment financing districts. And we now have a tax increment financing district for the Raleigh community. And it's thanks to the work that Commissioner Willie Brooks did, as well as others on the city side. So we want to thank you all for your contributions to this effort. I mentioned that this is a community effort. I want to also ask our Memphis Police Department Director, Michael Rollins, to come forth, because as you can see, we are standing in front of a beautiful police precinct. And so I'd love for him to say a few remarks.
Well, thank you, and thank everyone that has worked so diligently to complete this project. But what a beautiful site. You know, when I was growing up as a kid, and even later on as an adult, and then as a police officer patrolling out in this area, I never would imagine that the Raleigh Mall would become the Raleigh Town Center and house our formerly Old Allen Station, which is now the new Austin Peace Station, and also house our traffic and special operations. So we know that as we not only reimagine Raleigh, as we reimagine policing, this is a great site to bring community together to where you could fellowship with law enforcement. You can hang out with Officer Goodhart over here. You can go to the public library and learn more about an exciting law enforcement career, Mr. Parkinson. And you can go to the skate park, and hopefully there's some fish in that pond, and maybe you could catch a few fish. But we're excited to be here and share this space, to have 2 precincts located is something that we've really never seen as far as construction. We've shared space, but we never had such a magnificent facility. And Mayor, I do want a new police headquarters, because this looks better than the police headquarters. So hopefully we can put it in some future budgets. I'll get some claps on that. Boy, this is a great community. I love the support here as we reimagine this new police headquarters for the new police director. But again, and you see a lot of our special operations things out here, our community outreach with Officer Goodhart and some of our folks. So folks, we're out here to fellowship with you. And so we're excited to be here. Chief Hart is over special operations. So he owns quite a big piece of this, along with Chief Wright with District Uniform Patrol District 2. So again, we are so excited to be here and partner with our community. And what a beautiful place to have events, community events, to kickstart our youth, to kickstart community outreach. So again, thank you, HCD, for all you've done. I know this has been a long project. I first heard about this when I was a little boy, I think. And finally, now that I'm 54, we've actually finished the project. So we're excited. And again, thank everybody for coming out today.
Thank you, Director Rollins. I want to acknowledge a couple of people that also helped to make this place special. As you know, it's important that we include art in projects because they really make the community feel at home. And we have two artists that worked on this project. Artist Joseph Boyd, who created the mural on the wall along Scheibler Street, as well as Yvonne Bobo, who created various sculptures throughout the buildings that you'll see when we get an opportunity to go inside. So thank you all for your contributions there. Next, I would like to introduce the Raleigh branch manager, who's standing in for Director Keenan McCloy, who couldn't be with us today. Manager Michael King is going to bring a few remarks, and he's also going to introduce our Secretary of State, who also is going to speak.
Hello, everyone. I know you were expecting someone much prettier than me or with longer hair, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So on behalf of the Memphis Public Library's director, Ms. Keenan McCloy, who is in self-quarantine for the next few days, on behalf of our Deputy Director, Mr. Chris Marselect, and my Northeast Regional Manager, Ms. Gay Kane, I am Michael King, the Senior Library Manager of the Raleigh Branch Library. I welcome you to this historic moment for the city of Memphis, for my Raleigh staff, and for the entire Raleigh community. At this time, I would like to highlight some of the special features of the new and improved Raleigh Branch Library. In addition to this beautiful campus, the Raleigh Branch Library will include state-of-the-art equipment, a tech common area, a family learning lab, a large programming room, which I'm excited about, 2 meeting/study rooms, an upstairs cooking demonstration kitchen area, along with a balcony that overlooks a storm water retention or detention lake. How about that? Thank you. Next, I would like to share some information about our guest speaker. Tennessee Secretary of State Trey Hargett has been tremendously supportive of Memphis Public Libraries and public libraries across the state of Tennessee. It has been a joy and an honor to work with him over the years, as he is truly a library champion. He has worked with us on many projects to move them forward and has helped us reach the highest level possible. I cannot thank Secretary Hargett enough for his support that he has given Memphis and the many people who have benefited from his service. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Trey Hargett.
Well, thank you, Mr. King, for those gracious remarks. And I wish I could be with you today. I, like many of you, remember the days we shopped at the Raleigh Springs Mall, and I am so delighted to see what has become a great use
King, for those gracious remarks.
Of that property.
I wish I could be with you today.
I also want to thank Mayor
remember
Strickland. Mayor Strickland, you may have become the mayor
and
of
I am
Memphis,
so
but you
delighted
never
to see
forgot
what has become a great
38128. And thank you for this project. Bill Morrison, what a great honor And also, I know you're appropriate to recognize all of those past councilmen and county commissioners, others who came alongside you to support the project. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank my colleague in state government, Representative Antonio Parkinson, who I will tell you, you will not find a stronger advocate for the Raleigh area anywhere than Antonio Parkinson. So Antonio, thank you for loving that community like I have as well when I was the state representative for that area as well. And finally, Director McCloy's leadership is key to all of this as well. She is absolutely one of the best library directors we have in the state of Tennessee. She has great people like you, Mr. King, and I'm grateful for that. And the library makes a statement to those who come to this community about what's important. And when students in that community see how you have invested in the library, they know that you have truly made a long-term investment in them. And you made a long-term investment in the safety of the community by what you've done for the police department there. So I congratulate you. I look forward to visiting in person, and just so thankful, Mr. Young, you chose to make me a part of this special occasion. Thank you. God bless Memphis, and long live the 38128. Its best days are to come.
All right. Thank you, Secretary. That was amazing. We really appreciate your partnership. We are now going to get ready to introduce Nick Walker, but before we do that, I wanted to introduce someone just so you can put a face with the name, because you probably heard the name Mary Claire a lot. She makes a lot of us run around and do everything she asks, but she's the person that really got this project going on behalf of HCD. She's the project manager. She coordinates a lot of major initiatives. This is one of the projects she inherited when she first walked in the door, and she hit the ground running, and I really, really appreciate Mary Claire for all the work that she put in on this project. So thank you for that, Mary Claire. I'd like to now introduce our parks director, Nick Walker. So Nick knows that there's a skate park over here where we had to try to stop people from using it before it was finished, but he couldn't do it. So we're excited that it's now finally open. So Nick, let's hear some remarks from you.
Sure. As everybody's ready to get this ribbon cut, I'll be brief. This is the second skate park in the city of Memphis. Fortunately for us, both skate parks were designed by the same architect, Zach Wormhout, who actually designed the first skate park in the world in Santa Cruz, California, and has designed over 80 of them throughout the U.S. and the world. It's a testament to how utilized it will be that, as Director Young pointed out before it was even open, there were folks lined up. Similar to my office is directly in front of the Toby Skate Park, and I can tell you that both are well loved and both will be well used, and we look forward to continued partnership with HCD and the Raleigh area. So let him cut the ribbon. There you go.
So this will conclude today's event. A few things I wanted to say in closing. It's really important as a city that we continue to think about how we can remake spaces. This was a structure that had been vacant, dilapidated for a while. The citizens of the Raleigh community drove down Austin P as their main corridor, and this was the image that they had for their community. So it's really important that we create spaces that changes the way people perceive their community. So when you look at this space now, as those citizens and those residents drive through this community, they can feel a sense of pride. They can feel like there's a place that they can call their own right here in Raleigh. We want to do projects like this across the city, It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. There are many people that help to make this happen. Somebody mentioned the timeline. It took a lot of years to get this done. So this work does not happen overnight. But what it takes is vision. It takes people that are creative, and it takes people that are committed to doing things on behalf of their citizens, as this administration is. And so I want to thank you all for participating today and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone. For those who would like, you're welcome to tour the library. And I believe we have a few people who are going to be allowed to tour the police station, starting of course with the mayor.